Welcome to News Now. I am Annetta Felix. At least 2 people were killed when some unknown gunmen attacked the southern part of the Mina medium security prison, releasing 200 inmates. The gunmen had reportedly set free a total of 219 inmates, but 19 of them were rearrested with the help of other security agencies in Niger State. However, the police said it has taken measures to ensure the arrest of the remaining 200 prisoners. The Commissioner of Police in Niger State, Dibal Yakadi, said the police have embarked on a stop and search for all vehicles and also engaged personnel on motor and foot patrol to ensure that the inmates are apprehended. The Nigerian police has invited the Senate President Bukola Saraki to answer questions on his alleged involvement in the Offer Bank robbery. Force spokesman Moshood Jimo made this known on Sunday while parading the suspect arrested in connection with the crime and items recovered by the police. Moshood said the suspect had made statements which indicted Saraki and Kwara State Governor Abdul Fattah Ahmed. TV360 has the details.
After more than a month of investigating the Offer Bank robbery in Kwara State, the Nigerian police force has finally announced a major breakthrough. Paraded here are 22 suspected armed robbers, including 5 alleged gang leaders who are suspected to have played different roles in the incident, which cost 33 lives, including 9 policemen. But there is a new twist to the story. Police spokesman Jimo Moshood is accusing Senate President Bukola Saraki of allegedly sponsoring the robbers. He also alleged that Kwara State Governor Abdul Fattah Ahmed was involved.
The 5 gang leaders, namely Ayuade Akinibosun, Ibikunle Ogunleye, Adeola Abraham, Salaudeen Assis, Niyi Ogundiran, and some of the other 17 suspects arrested for direct involvement and active participation in the Offer Bank robbery and the gruesome killing of 33 innocent persons, which includes some pregnant women and 9 police personnel, admitted, confessed, and volunteer statement that they were political thugs of the Senate President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Bukola Saraki, and the Executive Governor of Kwara State, Alhaji Abdul Fattah Ahmed.
Moshood then goes on to present evidence to back up his claims.
During interrogation, the 5 gang leaders mentioned in paragraph 2 further confessed and volunteer statement that they carried out the bank robbery, the attack on the divisional police headquarters in Offa, and the killing of 33 innocent persons during the robbery of the following 6 banks. 1. First Bank Offa, Guaranteed Trust Bank Offa, Eco Bank Offa, Senate Bank Offa, Union Bank Offa, and Ibilo Microfinance Bank Offa, and the attack on the divisional police headquarters in Offa on the 5th of April 2018. Millions of naira and 21 AK-47 rifles belonging to the Nigerian police force in the armory of the police divisional headquarters Offa were admitted by these 5 gang members and some of the suspects, 17 other suspects, to have been carted away during the bank robbery. The 5 gang leaders confessed and volunteered statement to the police investigators, giving a clear account of how they planned and carried out the bank robbery operation Offa and the attack on the police division headquarters, and how they killed the 33 innocent persons during the bank operation.
Some of the suspects also narrate how Saraki allegedly aided the operations.
My involvement with the Senate President, we are his boys. We work for him at Kwara South. We are the one that holds Kwara South for him. We have 3 senatorial districts in Kwara State. We have Kwara South, Kwara North, Kwara Central. There are some people in Kwara Central, there are some people in Kwara North, there are some people in Kwara Central too. Sure. We've been working for him. It's over. When we are in PDP, it has been long.
Can you at least be specific?
When he was governor of Kwara State, we are the one that we mobilize and we are the one that do political arrangements for him.
Describe it.
For example, where we are not supposed, where we can't win, we make the Baru arrangement there. We scatter elections if we don't win.
The killing of the two people I killed, it was out of fear, because I was being disturbed when the voting was going on. That was what bring killing of two people.
With the confession of the gang leaders, more arrests are expected to be made in the coming weeks.
In response to his alleged indictment in the Offa Bank robbery, Senate President Bukola Saraki has directed his aide-de-camp ADC to get an invitation letter from the police. Saraki, who said he's willing to honor the invitation, has denied the allegation, accusing the police of trying to set him up as he had earlier raised the alarm on the issue. In a tweet on Monday, Saraki said he was willing to appear before the police immediately, but is seeking an official letter of invitation from police forces. As expected, the invitation of the Nigeria police to the Senate President Bukola Saraki is a top issue being discussed across the country on Monday, following police revelation that he was mentioned by the gang leader of the Offa Bank robbery. People gathered in different news stands to discuss this shocking revelation by the armed robbers, and TV360's Tunji Olanipeku reports.
Different newspapers, different headlines, but the subject matter in all the papers is the invitation of the police extended to the number 3 citizen in the country, Senator Bukola Saraki, on the recent Offa Bank robbery incidents. It is the most discussed issue among Nigerians on Monday. Argument, disagreement, analysis, counter-analysis, and all manners of postulation are expressed by Nigerians on this matter.
You know, the police are security officers. Based on their intelligence report, if they discover that no matter how highly placed you are found wanting, you have to be invited. And the moment if you are invited, does not mean that you are already guilty. If they discover, if they will do their investigation and they come out with it, you will be scot-free. But if you have a hand there, no matter how highly placed you are, I feel the law must always take its course.
It's a victimization to me, because I look Saraki political life like their father has already built them. So I don't need that. Maybe Saraki need talks to succeed in politics. To me, that is what I take it. Just like the APC wanted to rubbish the man.
Let them leave him alone. He will answer the police. But I cannot believe that an armed robber will be caught somewhere and he will mention somebody with an amount that is less than what he gives his aides. It doesn't make any sense.
The police had on Sunday confirmed rumors that the Senate President was fingered by the gang leader of the armed robbers. A Lexus sports utility vehicle with the Senate President name as the plate number was also recovered during investigation. The questions this development has thrown up among Nigerians is this a fight against impunity and criminality or politics?
It's not a politics now, because they arrest these people red-handed. And secondly, there is Saraki car, the non-plate number. The problem is that if he is clean now, let them come to clear his doubt, to clear the doubt now. That is, let them, everybody, every wall that you know, say you don't have any hand inside this. You can't use immunity and cover him now. There is no matter of immunity now, because criminality is criminality. From beginning, there I say politics in play, in the sense that all of us, we are Nigerians. We are here when they stole the mess, which is the highest symbol of authority in the upper chamber, the Senate. Police supposed to be guiding that mess. Up to now, did you hear about somebody that was arrested because of the mess? I don't know. So I said politics is on air. If actually Saraki is involved, let them prove it. Police, they are doing their job. There's no way you can say they are political. They are not politicians. So police, they are doing, in my own view and in my own opinion, police, they are doing their legitimate job.
Both the Senate President Bukola Saraki and the Governor of Kwara State Abdul Fattah Ahmed will be answering questions from the police on the Offa Bank robbery, as Nigerians watch with keen interest how the issue will eventually play out. From Abuja, Tunji Olanipeku, TV360 News.
In Lagos, the Women Arise for Change initiative led by Joe Odumakin, in conjunction with the Kudirat Initiative for Democracy, Kind, has staged the march in remembrance of Kudirat Abiola, wife of the acclaimed winner of the June 12, 1993 presidential elections, the late Moshood Abiola, at the Abiola's residence in the city. The late Kudirat was assassinated on June 4, 1996, in the aftermath of the annulled June 12, 1993 presidential elections, while her husband, Moshood Abiola, was in detention. In memory of the life she lived, members of the Women Arise National Coalition for Democracy, NADECO, and many well-wishers of the Abiola family, including Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka, were present to render eulogies to the late matriarch.
22 years of her death, memories of the late Kudirat Abiola linger on in the minds of families, friends, and well-wishers. At the Abiola's residence in Ikeja, the Lagos State capital, members of the Women Arise for Change initiative and the Kudirat Initiative for Democracy sing solidarity songs condemning the actions of the killers as they march from the main house to Kudirat Abiola's grave. Some of those who paid tribute to the graveside want Nigerians to actively participate in the 2019 elections.
We are at the eve of another round of elections in Nigeria. In memory of Kudirat Abiola, all citizens of this country must endeavor that they collect their permanent voters card. We must vote on the day of elections and ensure that our votes count. And never again must we allow anyone to annul elections like it happened on June 12th.
We want Nigerians, just like Dr. Joe has said, get your PVCs and let us put to shame all the chief and master riggers in this election game. Let us change the football. Let's change the football game, because the elections are like football games. Let's elect new leaders who will not go and spend 3 months abroad for medical tourism, but will sit down here and repair every medical facility we have in this country.
I'm sure my mom would be really pleased to see that after 22 years, we still have people who remember and respect and understand her struggle. It's very important that what we do while we're alive, it goes a long way. So we should act, our actions while we live follows us after we pass.
I am sad today, and I'm sad not just because I lost the nicest mother a daughter and children could have, and the best example of an ethical, principled human being. But I'm sad because even though she died for this country and out of love for this country, the country and the people of Nigeria continue to suffer. It makes me sad. It makes me wonder if anything that they did has really made an impact. Both her and her husband and all the other people that went with them in the fight for democracy in Nigeria.
Liberty is a genuine definition of what we are as human beings, beings of volition. And the example which Kudirat laid for all of us is simply the example of the inestimable jewel called liberty, which belongs, as I said, to everyone. One of my favorite recollections of Kudirat was the day she said to me, Prof, radio, I set it down in my memoirs, you must set forth at dawn. And I promised her, I said, don't worry, you'll have your radio. With the aid, the assistance, the enthusiasm, the risks of many like you. See, Kudirat has laid an example. And when I see all these young faces here, the women especially, then I say the spirit of Kudirat lives on to inspire us. And there are many examples. They're numerous. And we mustn't forget them. We mustn't forget those who are still living, who continue the tradition of Kudirat. Such as my mind leaps immediately to the name of a young girl called Leah Shraibu, the girl who said, no, you will not take my freedom away.
While the killers of the late matriarch of Abiola family still remain at large, the agitation for justice continue to re-echo. As for friends and well-wishers of the Kudirat Abiola family, the struggle and fight for justice continues.
The People's Democratic Party has told President Muhammadu Buhari not to take credits for the not too young to run bill that was just signed. The PDP, in a press conference at the party secretariat in Abuja, said the bill is a conception of its member who fought tirelessly to sponsor it and ensure its passage by the National Assembly. The sponsor of the bill, Tony Wulu, said the PDP has always been a party that gives opportunity to the youth in the process of governance and will continue to do so.
We must appreciate the dogged commitment and effort of Honorable Tony Wulu, a member of PDP, who sponsored the bill in the House of Representatives and mobilized his colleagues in the National Assembly to support the bill, which has been passed into law and assented to by Mr. President. We must thank our lawmakers for this, and Mr. President for accepting to assent for the first time a progressive bill driven by the opposition party PDP for the interest of our country, Nigeria. House of Reps and Senate, the most vibrant members of these hallowed chambers are from PDP. As you can see, that it takes only PDP members to bring up a bill as laudable as this bill, to present it and follow it up and get it passed on behalf of the youth of Nigeria. PDP has been youth friendly, and we are sure Nigerian youths that we will continue to be so. We will continue including you in everything we are doing. We will continue positioning you to be number one in what we are doing.
This is the only party that the young people will always find their voice. This is a party that has made it possible that many of us young people today at the National Assembly are from PDP, just like the national youth leader has said. And that is the truth. The very youngest, both men and women, we have a whole lot of them, very vibrant lawmakers. They are from PDP extraction. At the Senate, the same thing is happening. And I believe that what happened in 2015, like I would always say, was divine. When people ask for something with lies, they tell us of lies because they want to get to power. But you see, lies can never subsist. Lies can take you to somewhere, but it will not sustain you there.
To health matters now, the cholera outbreak in Adamawa State has increased with the disease extending to Hong and Maiha local government area. The officer of Adamawa Ministry of Health, Mohammed Abubakar, said in a statement that 2 cases were recorded in each of the local government areas, but there were no deaths. Abubakar added that the total number of cases recorded in Mubi North, Mubi South, Maiha and Hong stood at 985, with 16 deaths. The ministry puts the fatality ratio of the outbreak as of June 3rd at 1.6%. News in business is right up. Do stay with us.
How work? Oh, correct, Oga. What is it that you are doing? Oga, they come out the part now. Make we go sell for. Oga, na correct kuzabi this so. Oga Titus and him boys them. They do am. They will come out the original parts, sell them, make plenty kusa. No wonder our customers bring the generator back to our workshop because they bad. And not because of stuff. Not because they overuse the generator. Plus, say NEPA no they give them electricity. Before I open my eye, Makachuku look at my talk in the heaven. Replace this original generator parts back inside this generator of my customer. In short, before we do them, front jump. 1, front jump. 1, 2, 1. Stealing of generator parts or changing of original parts to a fake one. That is the corruption. Not in my country. Corruption not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
Hello, welcome to Business News. I am Fidelia Aguncha. The recently approved excise duty for alcoholic beverages and tobacco will take effect on June 4. President Muhammadu Buhari had approved the amendment to the excise duty rate in March on the request of the Finance Minister Kemi Adeosun. Adeosun said the reviews, which would be from 2018 to 2020, is to raise the government's fiscal revenues. She also said it would reduce the health hazard associated with tobacco-related diseases and alcohol abuse. In the oil sector, the Nigeria Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, NUPENG, has issued a 21-day ultimatum to employers in the industry to address the poor welfare of workers. Williams Akmoreha, NUPENG president, issued the warning at a press conference on Sunday. Akmoreha said over 500 union members had not been paid after working for some international oil companies. Aside from the non-payment of salaries, he said the companies had continuously ill-treated the workers who were casuals. While accusing the employers of anti-labor practices, he added that the oil and gas companies frowned against unionism and would not give room for collective negotiation. Akmoreha also accused the companies of not paying end-of-contract benefits. Oil prices slipped on Monday as U.S. production hit a record high and OPEC members considered boosting supply. Brent crude lost $1.26 a barrel, while U.S. light crude was unchanged at $65.81 a barrel. U.S. crude production climbed in March to 10.47 million barrels per day, according to data from the Energy Information Administration. Now, U.S. drillers added 2 oil rigs in the week to June 1st, bringing the total to 861, the most since March 2015. Starting the week on a bright note following 13 consecutive market days in the red, the bulls returned to the market as today's session saw a 0.37% rise in the all-share index to close at 36,950 basis points, with the market capitalization at 13.384 trillion naira. Dominating the gainers chart, Nigeria Brewers, Guarantee Trust Bank, Mobile, and Zenith Bank led 35% gainers, closing at 106, 40.4, 166, and 26 naira respectively. On the other hand, 21% laggards were led by Presco, International Brewers, PZ Cussons, and Cadbury Nigeria, closing at 71.25, 39, 20.8 and 11.5 respectively. Meanwhile, the financial sector again remained the host of investors as Guarantee Trust Bank, Sovereign Insurance, First Bank of Nigeria Holdings, and Diamond Bank recorded the most patronized stocks in today's session. Now, in summary, the equities market closed recording a total of 314.428 million shares being transacted in 6,016 deals. Well, that's all on business news. Do stay tuned for more stories.
It's about the files your secretary presented to me regarding the company's salary. Yes, the figures don't seem to add up. I suspect there's some form of a
discrepancy.
Precisely, sir.
Keep the figure that way.
That's fraudulent, sir.
That's my money.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't do that, sir.
See how padded your books are. Are you telling me you cannot pad up figures?
Sir, padding is against best auditing practices, and it's a form of corruption.
It's true. Accountant.
You were testing. Thank you, sir.
That's it. Macaulay.
Yes, sir.
You are fired.
Yeah. Fine, sir. Rather than watch corruption grow under my watch. Padding is a form of corruption and not in my country, sir.
Corruption not in my country. Stop corruption now.
At least 48 migrants were killed when their boat sank off Tunisia's coast and 67 others were rescued by the Coast Guard. The Defense Ministry said the boat went down near the southern island of Kekena, a tourist spot. The ministry added that the victims were Tunisians and of other nationalities. Officials, however, said that the rescue operation was suspended late on Sunday but will resume on Monday. At least 25 people, including at least 3 children, have died after the most violent volcanic eruption in Guatemala in more than a century, authorities said. The volcano of fire erupted on Sunday and released a 5-mile stream of lava, a pyroclastic cloud and ash that fell over nearby Guatemala City, the country's capital. About 3,100 people were evacuated and nearly 300 have been injured after the eruption, according to the country's disaster agency. The airport was also closed because of the danger that floating hot ash posed to aircraft. Officials reportedly advised residents to wear face masks to prevent and to protect against any ash still in the air. And on to news and sports, Nigeria's Super Eagles are now in Austria for the final phase of their 2018 World Cup preparation. The Eagles departed to Vienna on Sunday after falling to a 2-1 defeat to England on Saturday. Before leaving, coach Ken O'Rourke dropped Michael Agu Ola Aino from his 25-man squad to complete the required 23-man squad for the showpiece. The Eagles will play Czech Republic and Austria in their final warm-up games. Reigning champions Germany have made the stunning decision to leave Manchester City winger Leroy Sané out of their squad for World Cup 2018. The 22-year-old is coming off the back of an impressive season at club level, which saw him collect a Premier League and Carabao Cup double. Sané contributed 14 goals to the City cause during a record-breaking campaign, while also providing 17 assists across England's top flight and the Champions League. He will, however, play no part for his country in Russia this summer after being caught from Joachim Löw's 27-man preliminary party. And Serena Williams announced her shock withdrawal from the French Open on Monday with injury just minutes before a scheduled 4th-round clash against longtime rival Maria Sharapova. The 36-year-old said she had suffered a pectoral muscle injury in her 3rd-round win over Julia Georges and can't serve at all. The 23-time Grand Slam champion added that she would stay in Paris for scans on the injury to find out how long she'll be out of action. Williams has not lost to the Russian since 2004, winning the last 18 matches. And you're now up to date on News Now on TV360. Do follow us on all social media platforms at TV360 Nigeria. I am Annette Felix. Thanks for watching.